Hello, this is Dr. Miller, and I'm going over the Assignment 2 instructions. And for this particular assignment, we're doing some different things. We're going to continue with our Facebook. And remember, every week you need to be posting first on Facebook, but now as we're adding Twitter, you're going to need to post on Twitter as well. And you need to do that every week. Please understand, you can use the same content on multiple channels. It's actually a really good idea. So if you have a good blog post or a video that you found that you want to share with your audience, then you can post that on Facebook, but you can also post it on Twitter. As we add other social media channels, we can do the same on those as well. So you're going to work on graphics, and if you've looked at the videos and the material on graphics, you'll know that there's a specific size for the different elements of the graphics. And we went ahead and did Facebook last week, and if you actually created graphics or found graphics that you're happy with for your Facebook page, well, you don't need to change them. What you do need to understand is how to make them, because at some point you will want to change them. And particularly like with Facebook, you may want to change the cover. If you're running a special event or something to try to encourage more likes, for example, you would want to change the cover. You will not need to change it if you're happy with what you've got, but you need to know how to change it. Now, we've also had you create a LinkedIn account. And this also has a graphic element to it. There's a header and there's a profile picture. Well, the profile picture is really kind of more important, because remember, on LinkedIn, you're doing LinkedIn really for yourself. It's not for your business or organizational entity. It's really for you. And you would be just amazed at how many people get hired strictly off of the LinkedIn presence that they have. It's an entire job site. And if you're looking for jobs, you can find jobs, and you can also post jobs if you were in a situation like that on LinkedIn. But if you're looking for a job, you can find jobs, and then you can use your profile that you've created, your professional profile on LinkedIn, and you don't have to actually do a resume every time that way. So that's why you're doing LinkedIn. It's really a professional representation of you. And if you're a student at Snead State and you're not particularly experienced in work, then that's okay, because you're probably experienced in other ways. You may be involved with clubs, for example, or you may be involved with volunteering. And so that's what you would put into your profile. You would also tell your story and why you might be a great candidate for something. So that's what we're going to do with the LinkedIn. Then Twitter. Twitter is a really important social media channel. I hope you've looked at the material on Twitter that's in the articles, and you should have created a Twitter account for your business or organizational entity. So it should be the same thing as your Facebook page. So if you have a retail presence that you're doing on Facebook, you're going to just do the same presence on Twitter. You don't create a separate thing. Now, you will use the dimensions that are appropriate for creating a profile graphic. You probably want to put your face there, or if you have a logo or something that's recognizable. And then the header is the great big space at the top of the Twitter page. So I'm going to jump to my Twitter just to show you what I'm talking about. And if I just go to Twitter, this is what I am seeing. And I would refresh this by reload, and I'll get what people are posting that I'm following. So I follow over 2,300 accounts on Twitter. I also have a lot of followers. I work at Twitter. It's really kind of my primary social media channel that I do. And I do a lot of tweets. If I hover over this, you can see that I've done over 21,000 tweets. Now this area over here, I rarely pay attention to. It's supposed to be customized for you. Over on the right-hand side are suggestions, and there's some stuff up here at the top that we'll go over later. But what I'm going to show you is when I click on me, Lawrence G. Miller, this is my profile page. The other was really my news feed. So here is my image, and actually on Twitter, relatively large compared to Facebook or other entities. I used an image of a portrait of me in there, and then this is my header that I created, and the header for Twitter is extra wide, so make sure you get the dimensions correct. And then the other things you're going to set up are going to be over in here, and this is going to be where you live and when it'll display when you joined. And I put my birthday up here. You don't have to do that. That's totally optional. But this is important, and it's just a few words about what your entity is about. I am my own entity here, so I'm just describing me. Now, where you can get in there and change this stuff is you're going to click up here on the right, and you're going to go down to Settings. And this is your account. You can kind of do some security stuff in here, and there's kind of these typical things about how you get notified. This can be handy, find friends, but you can also get this a different way. So let's go back to my profile here. Let's say that we wanted to edit the profile. So if I click on Edit Profile, it's going to give me two of these interfaces here. So if I click on this one, it's going to let me go to my computer and pick a new header image. If I go to this one, it's going to also go to my computer where I can pick up a profile photo image or a logo image, something like that. So that's just wanted to get to Twitter and look at that for a minute. But let's go back to what you're going to do. Now, one of the things that you will be doing each week, in addition to posting content each week, and next week we're going to talk more about where you get content ideas, because you're probably getting a little queasy about where do I find stuff to say something on my social media channels. But I'll show you some really good tricks. That material will be up there in a day or so, so you can start looking at it even before you finish assignment 2 if you want to. Each week you're also going to create a report starting with assignment 3, and that report is going to have two elements to it. One are the postings, the actual content postings that you're putting up there. And then the second part of the report is your engagement report. So you do this for each channel. So right now we have Facebook, and now we're going to have Twitter. We'll add others later. Let's go ahead and say how you keep a list of your posts. So I recommend putting them into either Microsoft Excel as a spreadsheet, or if you use Google Docs, there's a thing called Google Sheets that lets you do this. You can also do it right in Microsoft Word as a table. So here's a post, and this is my post report here. I could obviously put more in here, but this is just an example. I'm hoping you're posting several content posts every week, but this is one I found, and it's really a story about how Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I live, is in this list from actually Reader's Digest that identified some of the cities in America where people should move to before they get too crowded. That's the theme of it. So I posted that same story on Facebook, and I posted it on Twitter. Now there's a difference when you do the postings, because Twitter has that character limit, whereas Facebook doesn't. And I put the date that I posted it. So if you've got 2 or 3, you'd have the same thing. If you just posted it on Facebook because you didn't have Twitter, that's fine. And if you posted something just on Twitter for some reason, you can do that. Now remember, you can repost on Facebook and you can retweet on Twitter, and those count. You can't overdo it, but when you're just getting started, finding something that you like and that fits what you're doing and retweeting or reposting, that's a really good thing to do. Now, the second part of the report deals with engagement. And remember, like in Facebook, we have forms of engagement are likes. I like the post. Comments. You comment on the post. Somebody says, wow, this is really a great idea. Or I don't really like what you're doing, but I support your right to say it. Whatever. And then shares. And these all go into the Facebook algorithm that helps your presence, your business or organizational entity, get more exposure. It's going to be tough because you're just starting out, and chances are you're only doing it for this course. So you're not going to get a whole lot of traction with this, and I understand that. But let's see what we can do. And I'll give you some ways that you can probably do more and get more as we move through the course. But on this best places to move in the U.S. story that I posted up here, since I've got it up here, I just put a summary down here. Up here, I'd actually like to see the URL of what you're posting to, or rather from. And this one got 4 likes, no comments, and 1 share. On Twitter, I had to modify it with some hashtags that I put in, but it's the same basic content. And it got 2 likes and 2 retweets. And that's really it for Twitter. So what are you going to turn in? This is what you're going to turn in. You're going to turn in a screenshot. And I don't know what computers you use, or what, if you're using a PC, I don't know which version of Windows. So what I recommend you do, if you don't know how to do the screenshot, is just to Google and put in your computer. So you put in screenshot on a Mac, and it'll tell you how to do it. If you have a PC, you should probably put screenshot on PC and the version of Windows. So if you're using Windows 10, you say screenshot Windows 10 PC, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it. It's basically you're holding down some keystrokes. You're saving the entire image that you see, usually to your desktop. So you can use that. So what you can do here is a screenshot for your Facebook page as you have it now, or after you finish modifying it, if that's what you're going to do. Your LinkedIn profile, which you've just established, and your Twitter business account that you've just established also. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so these are actually screenshots of students that are in the class, and these are their Facebook pages that they've already created. This student, Dominique, is going to be creating her presence as a blogger. So this is the name that she's got here, and this is an image. And since her blog will be about families, and that's kind of appropriate to have like a teddy bear. And then this image that I assume is Dominique, and that's okay. That's fine. So this is really cool here, and this is Megan, and she's created this Little Squatch Research Association. Now, I don't know if that's for real or not, but it's pretty cool, and this is a great logo. I really like that a lot. And I like this cover shot. It kind of creates this mystery to it. So what I did on these was I took a screenshot and I had to edit it down a little bit because it had a lot of extra information I didn't want. So I edited with Photoshop Elements, or you could use Canva, or you can use Pixlr. Both of those are free online graphics tools. And you can put your different screenshots on one document and submit that one document if you want. That's fine. Back to the instructions here. The second part of the assignment is your Twitter handle, which is going to be the @ and whatever name you came up with, and then your LinkedIn public profile page URL. Now, it's sort of like Facebook because there's a page that only you can see, so find the public view of your LinkedIn account and get that URL. If you're really having trouble with it, go ahead and just send me the exact name that you used on LinkedIn. Remember, there are millions of people on LinkedIn. So if you have a common name, it's oftentimes difficult to find them. So one of the things with LinkedIn is I strongly recommend using your full name. That would include your full middle name. It's just a way to kind of distinguish it. All right, so then the third thing you're going to turn in is that report, your post report and your engagement report. Let's go to the assignment 2 page here, and the summary of the instructions is here. The complete instructions I forgot to put up here, to be honest, but I'll get them up here in just a minute. But this is the area that you're going to submit. It's the typical interface with submit. It's going to tell you the points. It's going to tell you when it's due, which is next Sunday. And if you can just put all that stuff in the little editor, that's fine. Probably isn't going to work for the images. You're probably going to want to attach something. So this is how you attach a file. If you have 3 different screenshots, you can attach 3 different files. But you're going to browse your computer, find that particular file, and remember, a graphics image is a file, just like a Word document is a file. And then you're going to click on that, upload it, and then when you're done with all the stuff, including your report, including your screenshots, including your URLs, then you're going to come over here and click on submit. So this is just a preview of it right now, but that is the essence of assignment 2. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be very happy to help you out.